Welcome back to the Achilles channel. I'm having a debate with who I assume is a useful idiot. From the things that he's written on my page, on my channel, he's pretty much a useful idiot, but I'm debating with him nonetheless. You know, usually I'll give up on a useful idiot after a while, but I just started communicating with him, so I'm just gonna tell him what I know and try to help him see the light. That's all. You know, we're talking about all different kinds of things, regulations. We're talking about the mosque in New York. We're talking about just about everything that's happening. So, well, some of the things. But I wanted to talk about what the comment he left here for me this morning. I wasn't even going to make a video today, but I couldn't post on his channel for some reason. It was messing up. So I just wanted to somehow get this off my chest. We were talking about healthcare, and I said, you know, healthcare. I was talking about the rights, communist rights. You know, Constitution versus American Constitution. The right to a home, the right to healthcare, the right to a job. All of these things that the government will now provide for you. These are control mechanisms. And he couldn't understand why I would say such a thing. What? Giving someone health care is, oh, how could that be control? It's out of the goodness of your heart. You know, it's all about emotions with these people. And I told him, I said, well, for example, in health care, if the government is paying for your health care, then they can dictate how you live your life and how you eat, what you do. Because, you know, they're not going to let you, you know, drink Coca-Cola and eat at McDonald's every day if they're paying for your health care. They're not going to allow it to happen. And he comes back and he says, how could the government tell you how to eat and live? We have free will. Yeah, we have free will. But if McDonald's isn't there, if the junk food's not there, if the soda's not there, then how do you get it? How do you eat it? How do you live your life the way you want if the things that you want to do are no longer there? And the way they get rid of them is they regulate them. They regulate them out of existence. They create laws against them. What's going on with Mayor Bloomberg in New York? He's creating laws and regulations against foods that he deems unhealthy. So can you go to a restaurant and get salt, buddy? No. That's how they do it, through regulations. See, these people believe that regulations come from the heart. But really what they are control mechanisms. And they see regulations as a way of controlling corporations. But what they don't realize, because they're useful idiots, is that regulations are how they're giving power to corporations. Because regulations create monopolies. That was what created the monopolies in the insurance companies when they regulated your right away from you from buying insurance from any company you want in the country. They limited you to buying insurance from the companies within your state. It killed competition. It created a monopoly within the insurance companies. Now instead of choosing from 1,200 insurance companies, you can only choose from 4 or 5. That's how they take your rights away from you, through regulations. They're destroying small businesses through regulations. For example, I'm in the home improvement sector. I am now competing against Home Depot, who is now doing home improvements instead of just selling them. They're doing them. Why? Because they see an opportunity here. The smaller businesses are being saddled with new regulations and fees and insurances and all of these roadblocks in the way of growth. Prosperity. This is actually unconstitutional because they're putting roadblocks in the way of prosperity, which is something we are, given by our Creator. Prosperity, not people. They're putting roadblocks in the way. So what does Home Depot do? Home Depot gets into the business. Now Home Depot is competing with these smaller companies. You know why? Because Home Depot can afford the regulations. Because they are not going to pay like the smaller guy. They are going to take those regulation fees and insurances and what have you and spread them out amongst hundreds of thousands of products that they will pass on to the consumer. The small business can't do that. He has to pass that on to the consumer right then or take a loss. Or take a loss. You know what I'm saying? Decrease his profits, which means he has less. He's got to work harder for the same, for more. It puts roadblocks in the way of entrepreneurs, people who want to start their own business. Because now, when they start, like for example, I bought a truck, I went out and I started. I got my insurance, and that was it. That's all I needed. And my advertising, and that was it. And I went out and I made money. First 2 years. Then they started regulating my business. They started increasing my fees and my insurances. How do you make money? You gotta work harder. What if you don't want to join the rat race? What if you just want to have a business and work every day and make money for your family? You know, pay your taxes, do all that wonderful stuff. But now you can't. Now you have to be able to, you have to have money to start a business. You have to have money to be able to sustain yourself to when you're making money, because you're the fees and the insurance fees and all of these regulations and inspections and registrations and all of these new expenses are there, but you're not making any money because you've just begun. You have no clientele, and you have to compete against Home Depot. How do you do that? Nobody will even start. It's a way of killing individualism. It's about killing individualism. How do you go out and be prosperous for yourself with all of these roadblocks? And it's a way of fleecing people, taking their hard-earned money. Because, you know, hey, we're in a recession. They got to find new inventive ways to get money from you. To continue this government growth. Government growth. The more jobs they create in government, the more money they have to take from you to pay them. The more regulations, the more fees. Regulations are bad, very bad. Do I think we need to remove all regulations? No, because there are criminals out there. Then we need to regulate against them. But not everybody. You don't regulate everybody. You regulate against crime. You don't regulate every aspect of people's lives and their businesses. You don't do it. You destroy by doing that. You control everybody. Government intervention. Have you ever had government people come to your house? I have. Because I have a business. Why are government people coming to my house? I'm not into hazardous material. You know, things of that nature. I work with wood. With wood. Regulations are the killer of this country. And regulations are how they're going to control us. God bless America.